This Chinese offensive is going to be huge, very brutal.
Dodge can't sell their cars anymore, so now you can basically buy a Dodge for a penny. Carlos Tavares recently made a statement that sent shockwaves through the automotive world, declaring boldly, "I have bad news about Dodge." This recognition has put the iconic Dodge brand on the edge of what feels like a very uncertain future. The question is, could this really signal the end of a glorious era for Dodge? And should you go buy one of these cheap cars? What's happening? For decades, Dodge has been the name you think of when it comes to high-performance vehicles that get your adrenaline pumping. Yet, in this modern age, we are seeing a swift pivot in consumer preferences toward more sustainable options. This shift leaves Dodge confronted with the increasingly stark possibility of becoming a brand that is, dare I say it, less relevant. To complicate matters even further, Stellantis has just announced that there will be no more Ram trucks rolling off the production line. And the truth is, the decision to cease Ram truck production isn't just a simple truck issue. It sends ripples all the way through the Dodge identity itself. Remember the strategic separation of Ram from Dodge back in 2010? That was intended so each brand could flourish in its own lane. Fast forward to the present day, and that decision creates a genuine challenge. How do both brands continue to thrive together when they are having an identity crisis? But we are just scratching the surface here. There are actually 3 main challenges that Dodge needs to figure out. So let me break it down for you, and you can subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out. Adapt and survive. Dodge has been a company synonymous with muscle cars and the powerful appeal of American automotive craftsmanship. Just think about the legendary Charger and Challenger. These vehicles don't just represent cars, they embody the spirit of performance that has captivated enthusiasts for generations. However, things are changing. The prevailing market sentiment is shifting dramatically toward fuel efficiency, sustainability, and electric power. So what does this seismic shift mean for Dodge's future and its iconic status in the industry? The truth is, the automotive industry is undergoing a renaissance of sorts, one that heavily favors electrification and sustainability. Can you believe that traditional gas-powered trucks, the ones that used to dominate the roads with their thunderous roars, are currently on a sharp decline? Consumers today are much more aware of the impact of their choices on fuel economy and the environment. This growing awareness is guiding them toward hybrids and electric vehicles, which offer not only efficiency but also a promise of a greener future. This shift isn't fleeting or trivial. Rather, it signifies a fundamental change in how people evaluate their purchases today. The upcoming generations are more conscious and discerning than ever, and this evolving mindset is reshaping the entire automotive landscape. Consumers are no longer just seeking out vehicles that perform well. They're looking for brands that line up with their values and lifestyles, creating a significant challenge for automotive brands to meet this new standard of expectations. And things have changed now, and it is because of a merger that happened between one of the biggest automakers in the world. They must face a market that is constantly evolving from mere workhorses into essential lifestyle choices. Brands must tap into this growing sentimentality. Dodge, which boasts a storied history and performance, faces the daunting challenge of bridging its legacy with the rising demand for eco-friendly alternatives. The rugged American pickup has always carried a certain charm, powerful, unyielding, and capable. But as consumers become more selective, they're asking profound questions. Can you be tough while also being responsible? This inquiry speaks volumes as customers increasingly scrutinize their purchases through the lens of environmental consciousness. If Dodge wants to keep its loyal fan base and possibly attract new enthusiasts along the way, they need to invest more heavily in truly understanding what their customers want. One potential game-changing strategy could involve integrating hybrid technology with the storied performance specs that characterize Dodge. Imagine this, a Dodge muscle car that combines the roar of a classic V8 engine with modern hybrid capabilities. This kind of innovation could unleash adrenaline-fueled excitement while also keeping its carbon footprint in check. Just picture the thrill this would bring to a new generation of car lovers. Navigating this challenging landscape requires more than just product adaptation. Dodge must find distinct ways to set itself apart from the growing competition and nurture its relevance in consumers' eyes. This won't be a stroll in the park, but the stakes have never been higher. But that is not all. Another significant significant challenge for Dodge is the escalating competition from an emerging wave of Chinese electric vehicle manufacturers. These companies are taking their game to new heights, providing vehicles at competitive price points that create real headaches for traditional manufacturers like Stellantis. The numbers tell a disheartening story. Stellantis has witnessed a steep decline in market share, plummeting from 10.4% to just 8.6% in the United States as of mid-2024. This decline isn't merely about numbers, it reflects a major shift in consumer preferences, which are leaning heavily toward more affordable, eco-friendly alternatives. As we dig deeper into these financial challenges and assess the haunting risk of bankruptcy looming on the horizon, it becomes glaringly clear that the situation for Stellantis, and consequently for Dodge and Ram, is anything but stable. While it's tempting to view these financial woes through the narrow lens of quarterly reports, the implications are far broader and deeper. The automotive industry is not just a chain of assembly lines, it's a dynamic ecosystem that constantly reacts to consumer demands, technological advancements, and market trends in real time. Shifting our focus toward how Ram is maneuvering its product pricing amidst rising production costs and fierce competition deserves attention. Ram trucks have built a rock-solid reputation for durability and performance. Yet as production costs escalate, their pricing strategy must also adapt to remain competitive. How does this work, you might ask? Automakers often face grueling decisions about where to absorb rising costs and where to pass them on to consumers through pricing adjustments. As production costs rise, Ram must masterfully navigate the delicate balance of keeping prices attractive without sacrificing quality or the features that keep customers coming back for more. If Ram raises its prices significantly, it risks alienating its loyal customer base, especially in a market increasingly drawn to cost-effective alternatives. Conversely, keeping prices too low might nibble away at profit margins and further exacerbate cash flow issues. It's a tightrope walk that requires sharp acumen and strategic foresight, but this is just one of the pieces of the question and the challenges that they have to face. So what's next for Dodge? Let's dissect this together. Is this the end? In short, the company is grappling with inefficiencies that could potentially sink it if they remain unaddressed. Just picture it, a ship taking on water. The current trajectory indicates that without immediate, well-planned action, Stellantis could find itself in a precarious position of severe financial distress sooner rather than later. A major overhaul of their operations is essential to adapt to this rapidly changing market landscape, which is anything but a simple task. Now, let's take a moment to consider the repercussions of a company beginning to issue profit warnings. It's certainly not a positive sign, I assure you. Recently, Stellantis issued one of these warnings, and it sent shockwaves throughout the market. In the wake of this announcement, the company's stock price plummeted by 14%. Talk about a gut punch. This erosion of investor confidence is a double-edged sword. It not only reflects immediate concerns from current investors, but it can also make it significantly more challenging for the company to secure the funding or investments necessary to regain stability. Investors thrive on certainty, and right now, it feels like there's a drastic shortage of that for Stellantis. But wait, there's more. As part of Stellantis' restructuring efforts, there's growing speculation about potential brand consolidation looming on the horizon. The company may have to confront some harsh realities, contemplating shedding underperforming brands or consolidating their operations to streamline costs. Carlos Tavares, the CEO, made it abundantly clear. He stated that there is no taboo against making tough decisions if brands fail to generate adequate revenue. That's a bold declaration, one that signals no one is truly safe when the numbers don't add up. The auto industry is no longer what it used to be. It has morphed into a battleground. As electric vehicles redefine consumer desires, Stellantis must adapt or risk fading into obscurity within automotive history. This means reevaluating production lines, prioritizing efficiency, and perhaps most crucially, putting emphasis on innovation. It's not sufficient to simply have flashy vehicles. They need to invest substantially in research and development focused on sustainability and the future. The path forward is anything but clearly defined. But one thing is abundantly clear: Dodge and the entire Stellantis group must be prepared to adapt and evolve if they hope to survive in this rapidly changing landscape. The future of these iconic brands hangs in the balance, and only the most agile and forward-thinking players will emerge victorious in the automotive arena. So what did they do? Pricing strategy. Stellantis has a long history of keeping the prices of its trucks on the higher side. This decision is not something casual, it reflects a well thought out strategy aimed at maximizing profit margins. The reasoning behind this may seem logical at first. Charging higher prices can signal to consumers that the products are prestigious and of high quality. This approach can work wonders for brand positioning. However, the success of this lofty pricing strategy hasn't unfolded as smoothly as the company hoped it would. Today, we find ourselves in an economic climate that is rife with challenges. Picture skyrocketing inflation and widespread uncertainty. It's like walking through a minefield. This setting has created significant hurdles for Stellantis. Consumers who are sensitive to prices are feeling the squeeze as household budgets tighten, and those higher sticker prices are starting to create distance between the company and its potential customers. Just think about it. Walking into a dealership, excited to buy a new truck, only to see a price tag that feels like a punch in the gut. It's enough to make anybody's wallet clench in horror. So what's a company to do when it senses a dip in sales and faces a growing inventory headache? The solution may lie in increasing incentives. Stellantis is gearing up to ramp up incentives on older models while simultaneously tweaking pricing strategies for their 2024 vehicles. This shift aims to stimulate demand because, let's face it, who doesn't enjoy a good deal? But here's the catch. These incentives might lead to even more strain on profit margins. Think of it as trying to catch water in a sieve. Every incentive may attract customers, but how much are they actually contributing to the bottom line? Now that's the million-dollar question. Implementing high pricing strategies followed by discounts can significantly shape how customers perceive the brand. Just consider this. If consumers constantly witness price fluctuations, it can raise eyebrows and sow doubts about the actual value of the vehicles being offered. Trust is delicate in the consumer market. If people begin to feel like they're being overcharged only to receive a discount later, it can greatly diminish their faith in the brand. Building and maintaining that trust should always be a priority. So how does Stellantis' pricing strategy stack up against its competition? The answer is revealing. The company has relied on established automotive pricing methods, annual price setting, yet these methods lack the flexibility present in the innovative strategies employed by rivals like Tesla. This rigidity creates significant hurdles, especially when rapid shifts in the market demand quick and adaptable responses. In an industry known for fast-paced changes, sticking to outdated pricing strategies could be Stellantis' Achilles heel. As we dive even deeper into the challenges Stellantis faces in today's fierce market landscape, the surge in production costs looms large. This complicates the company's goal of providing competitive pricing. As profits cling to thin margins, they are increasingly squeezed by rising production expenses. This situation makes it more challenging to offer attractive prices without compromising on the margins that keep the business afloat. Add to that the fierce competition that is brewing, particularly from emerging Chinese manufacturers who are not just looking for a slice of the market pie, but are actively delivering lower-priced alternatives that threaten Stellantis' established foothold. The contrast between Tesla and Stellantis is striking when we examine their pricing strategies side by side. Tesla thrives on a dynamic pricing strategy, a system that flows like water. It allows for frequent adjustments based on real-time demand and market trends. This adaptability provides a competitive edge that Stellantis' more static pricing model certainly lacks. While Tesla can pivot effortlessly and swiftly, Stellantis often finds itself stuck in traffic, unable to make that quick U-turn when the market demands it. So what does this mean? The effects of pricing strategies reach far beyond mere numbers. Consumer perception plays a significant role too. Tesla's bold price cuts have established it as a heavyweight champion in the electric vehicle market, generating impressive sales and strong consumer loyalty. In stark contrast, Stellantis finds itself in a challenging position. If consumers perceive their vehicles as overpriced, especially when competitors offer similar features at lower prices, the brand may struggle to shed that unwelcome image. This precarious situation could jeopardize Stellantis' market standing, as consumers are always searching for better options. The pricing challenges faced by Stellantis do not end there. Dodge, a key player within the Stellantis group, is currently grappling with its own hurdles as it ventures into the electric vehicle landscape. Transitioning to electric vehicles is no straightforward task. It comes with hefty production costs driven mainly by the need for advanced technology in batteries. For example, the starting price for the 2024 Charger Daytona RT is a staggering $59,595, while the Scat Pack version is priced at around $73,190. Adding to this, the the destination fee of $1,995 can significantly inflate the overall cost. Comparing these prices to traditional gas-powered models reveals a striking disparity. The road truck is now nearly $14,000 more than its gasoline counterpart from 2023. It is no wonder these elevated prices might deter potential buyers who remain hesitant about embracing the electric vehicle market and the associated expenses, like setting up home charging stations. Navigating the complexities of market adaptation is another challenge for Dodge. Despite the federal government offering enticing incentives, including a tax credit of up to $7,500 for electric vehicle buyers, a substantial amount of hesitance cloud the decision-making process. Many consumers believe that maintaining an electric vehicle will ultimately cost more compared to traditional vehicles, complicating Dodge's pricing strategy as it seeks to attract more buyers. Recent surveys reveal potential customers are concerned not only about the hefty upfront cost, but also about ongoing expenses tied to maintenance and charging over the vehicle's lifespan. Additionally, a broader economic landscape is pushing consumers to tread cautiously. With high inflation and rising interest rates tightening budgets, many people are reluctant to commit to large purchases, including new cars. This reluctance is evident in the recent downturn in electric vehicle sales across North America, with many electric vehicles lingering unsold in dealership lots longer than expected. This situation raises significant concerns about resale values and only increases uncertainty surrounding Dodge's electric vehicle ambitions. Yet challenges do not end there. Reliability issues are becoming a larger concern, as studies suggest that electric vehicles encounter nearly 80% more problems than gasoline-powered counterparts. This includes serious complaints like battery failures and charging issues. For Dodge, establishing a competitive niche in a market where customers demand both thrilling performance and reliable service is no simple feat. As the company dives deeper into developing new electric powertrains, it faces reliability challenges tied to deploying advanced technology. New electronics and infotainment systems bring a new set of complications, including potential software glitches and battery management problems. Furthermore, the situation gets even trickier with Dodge's efforts in plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. These hybrids experience around 146% more issues compared to traditional vehicles, as the need to synchronize two power sources, electric and combustion, creates higher maintenance demands and increased breakdown risks. But all of this combined is creating a sense of urgency, and when the industry gets like this, people start pointing fingers, which brings us to the next and last part of their problems. Let me explain. Stella Nits is breaking apart. All of this has created a challenging environment for dealerships, with a glaring issue standing out: the overwhelming burden of unsold inventory. This accumulation of vehicles isn't just a minor inconvenience. It has become a significant dilemma for Ram dealerships. Let's examine the declining sales numbers. Recent reports from Stellantis reveal a staggering 20% drop in shipments for Ram trucks, leading to a significant oversupply cluttering dealership lots across the country. As we approach the middle of 2024, many dealerships are stuck with older models that have overstayed their welcome, with some Ram trucks gathering dust for nearly 3 years. This backlog has created an urgent need for dealerships to find effective ways to clear out old inventory and make room for new arrivals. To tackle this issue, Ram dealerships have resorted to aggressive price slicing strategies. Reports show trucks that once had a sticker price of $60,000 are now being cut to as low as $43,000. While this may attract some buyers, these substantial discounts come with complications. Not only do they eat into profit margins, but they also risk tarnishing the brand's perceived value. Drastic price drops can lead consumers to question the quality and stability of what should be a premium truck brand. Rising operational costs compound these challenges. Maintaining unsold inventory involves more than just parking vehicles. It includes storage costs, insurance fees, and ongoing loan interest, all of which add financial pressure on dealerships. With sales continuing to lag, dealerships also face increased staffing and operational expenses, creating a bleak outlook for profitability. The unsold inventory issue casts a significant shadow over financial stability. Picture a dealership trying desperately to lure in buyers with big discounts. It's like a hamster running endlessly on a wheel with no finish line in sight. As dealers are pushed to sell vehicles at significantly reduced prices, their profit margins erode rapidly. Many dealerships are barely profitable, and in some dire cases, they are operating at a complete loss. It's a sustainability nightmare that breeds frustration and anxiety about their future. Moreover, overflowing inventories have led some dealerships to make the tough decision to turn down allocations from Stellantis. This move reflects a significant lack of confidence in their ability to sell new vehicles. When dealers feel compelled to pass on brand new cars rolling off the assembly line, it highlights serious concerns about Stellantis' ability to effectively support its dealership network. This desperation indicates a critical shift in response to the harsh realities of the market. But the thing is, in a desperate attempt to cut down on cost, Stellantis has made decisions that are causing a lot of people to be uncertain about their own livelihoods. Union versus Stellantis. An overwhelming wave of anxiety, uncertainty, and sheer dread is crashing down on Stellantis workers, especially those involved in producing the popular Ram trucks. It feels like a storm is brewing on the horizon, one fueled by the company's struggles to adapt to rapid market changes and a series of strategic missteps that have left chaos in their wake. The harrowing experiences shared by these dedicated workers illuminate the human side of this corporate crisis, opening a window into their tumultuous lives, which have been uprooted by plant closures, unexpected layoffs, and sudden job reallocations. This isn't merely a business situation, it feels intensely personal. Focusing on the Warren Truck Assembly plant in Michigan provides a sobering view of this unsettling saga. Once a proud emblem of American automotive manufacturing, this plant now stands on shaky ground, where approximately 2,450 workers could face grim prospects of layoffs. This impending decision is directly tied to the production halt of the beloved Ram 1500 pickup truck, a vehicle vital to countless lives and livelihoods. Understandably, news of possible layoffs has sent shockwaves through the workforce. Over 60% of the employees, represented by the union, currently find themselves at a crossroads, looking nervously into a future that seems increasingly uncertain. Amidst this turmoil, the United Auto Workers UAW have emerged as a passionate and fierce advocate for workers' rights and job security. With a firm and unwavering stance, the UAW is not idly watching. They are actively challenging Stellantis on several fronts, particularly regarding layoffs and investment allocations. The spotlight is especially focused on the escalating tension between Stellantis' aim to ramp up electric vehicle production and the inevitable job losses tied to shutting down traditional truck manufacturing lines. This conflicting dynamic fuels considerable anxiety among the workforce, who are left anxiously pondering where their own futures lie. Leading the charge in this union resistance is Shawn Fain, the newly elected president of the UAW. He is a passionate critic of Stellantis' actions, particularly the bold plan to eliminate jobs at Warren Truck Assembly while simultaneously investing $406 million into electric vehicle production. His message cuts through the corporate fog. Stellantis must prioritize the welfare of its workforce alongside its financial ambitions. Fain is demanding real commitments to job security. Not vague promises, but genuine assurances that matter to those working on the shop floor. These demands resonate with urgency, as workers desperately seek more than just empty platitudes in this precarious environment. The impact of potential layoffs extends beyond direct employees. It sends shockwaves through the entire supply chain. Disruptions in sourcing essential parts and materials can create a snowball effect that impacts countless businesses relying on Stellantis. These aren't just large corporations, they include local suppliers, small businesses, and service providers that could find themselves in dire straits. The ripple effect stemming from Stellantis' decisions doesn't merely have a linear impact, it sets off a domino effect that reverberates across multiple sectors of the economy. Furthermore, the local dynamic is critical to consider. Many communities hosting these manufacturing plants have built their identities around them. The jobs produced by these factories are essential, not just for individual families, but also for municipal revenue. When job losses occur, local governments may see their tax revenues plummet, resulting in serious budget cuts that affect vital public services like schools, roads, and healthcare. It's also crucial to dive into the corporate strategy and market positioning, which play a significant role in this unfolding narrative. Stellantis is not just remaining passive, they are actively moving toward a monumental pivot in production focused on electric vehicles. This strategic shift aims at long-term sustainability and relevance in an evolving automotive landscape. However, this transition carries a heavy cost. Short-term job losses are a regrettable side effect, and the looming shadow of job insecurity will hover over factory employees like a dark cloud. They are left wondering, what does the future hold for them in this rapidly changing industry? But what's your thoughts on this? Let's know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.